Catman Origins. This underrated and campy Batman villain has been rediscovered in recent times. Over the years, Batman has fought countless villains, even the ones who've tried to copy his style. Well, there is one highly underrated villain who copied a few things from Batman, but also managed to stand his ground against the Dark Knight in their many encounters. This effeminate villain is known as Catman. He's not connected to Catwoman in any way, but her style certainly inspired Catman a lot. Catman had a dark childhood, and perhaps the things he had to face contributed to him becoming a ruthless villain after he grew up. From being a rich, upper-class citizen of Gotham City to becoming one of the most feared villains, Catman has lived through everything. In this video, we will explore all the mysteries surrounding the character of Catman and how he gave Batman a hard time. So without further delay, let us dive right into the video. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. Exploring the origins of Catman. The character of Catman entered the world of DC in January 1963 with his first appearance in Detective Comics issue number 311, which is titled The Challenge of the Catman. He was created by the legendary comic book writer and co-creator of Batman, Milton Bill Finger, along with the genius of James Noel Mooney. Catman was born as Thomas Blake to a wealthy, cruel father who was a hunter and a mother who used to be an actress but now lived off her husband's money. His childhood was full of darkness as he had a front row seat to domestic abuse and torture. Thomas's father was extremely harsh on him as well as on his mother. He did not like the fact that Thomas was so close to his mother because he wanted his son to become a man and not a wuss. As a result, he would constantly torture and beat his wife. One day, after Thomas turned 9 years old, his mother decided to leave his father because things were getting out of control. However, his father would not let her go, so Thomas decided to help his mother by getting hold of his father's hunting rifle. Soon after, due to his father, the gun went off and Thomas accidentally shot his mother in the chest. The incident left Thomas in shock. He didn't know what to do. On the other hand, his father tried to call the cops on his own son to report him for the murder of his wife, but Thomas quickly picked up on his father's hunting knife and stabbed him. He then left his father to bleed to death. Eventually, as Thomas Blake grew older, he began to follow in the footsteps of his father. He trained to become a professional jungle cat hunter. As a result, he was soon recognized as one of Gotham City's wealthiest socialites. However, he eventually grew tired of hunting and wanted to spice up his life, especially now that he had wasted most of his money. So he decided to become a costumed criminal in Gotham City as a burglar. Since he had dedicated most of his life to hunting cats, he chose them as inspiration for his costume and became Catman. The iconic criminal Catwoman, also known as Selina Kyle, who had then retired from her life of crime, was another influence on his Catman identity. Now, as Catman, Thomas began committing a series of crimes that were mostly centered around stealing cat-themed objects, such as expensive cat paintings and sculptures. However, Batman and Robin soon discovered his secret identity as Thomas Blake after they tried to capture Catman. In this mission, they were also helped by Catwoman, simply because she was extremely annoyed by Catman's attempt to imitate her costume. When Catman was finally confronted by Batman and Robin, he tried to fight them with the help of a giant cat robot, but the dynamic duo were easily able to defeat the machine. Catman soon realized that he was about to be captured, so he tried to flee. However, he got swept away by a nearby river and was believed to have died. After a few issues, we once again get to see Catman alive and doing well. We then find out that apparently the suit worn by Catman is made out of antique African fabric that allows him to have 9 lives, just like cats are believed to have. So it appears that Catman will be able to commit more crimes than the heroes anticipated. Catman in the DC animated universe. The character of Catman makes his first appearance in the animated TV series Batman, the Brave and the Bold in the 19th episode of the first season, which is titled Legends of the Dark Might. In this episode, Catman gets caught by Batman while he is attempting to sell off an endangered Sumatran tiger. He ends up engaging in a battle against Batman and Ace the Bat Hound, who is the canine superhero crime-fighting dog. Later on, in the 8th episode of the second season, which is titled A Bat Divided, we briefly get to see Catman in the company of a few bad guys in a pub. But soon, Firestorm arrives with the 3 Batmen in order to apprehend the enemies. Eventually, we also get a glimpse of Catman riding his infamous robot cat from the cover of Detective Comics issue number 311 in the 8th episode of the 3rd season, which is titled Time Out for Vengeance. In Batman, the Brave and the Bold, Thomas Blake is voiced by the American actor Thomas Francis Wilson Jr. In the DC animated universe, we get to witness another version of Catman in the 1997 animated TV series known as The New Batman Adventures. In this series, his character is voiced by the Scottish actor Scott Cleaverden. He makes an appearance in the 3rd episode of the 2nd season, which is titled Cult of the Cat. As the name suggests, Catman shows up as the leader of a cat-worshipping cult. Much like in his previous versions, he fashions gloves on his hands that have claws made out of knives. Other than that, he wears a basic black shirt and jeans. Now when Catwoman steals a cat sculpture from Thomas Blake's cult, he tries to capture her with the help of the other cult members in order to murder her. However, when he succeeds in catching Catwoman, he thinks that perhaps he can turn Catwoman into a cultist as well. So he asks her to kill Batman in order to be initiated into his cult, but this plan does not work out. As a result, Thomas engages in a battle with Batman himself and ends up getting severely hurt and hospitalized. Catman also appears as a side character in several animated films. In the 2009 movie known as Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, Catman is one of the numerous villains who are attempting to murder Superman and Batman in order to take advantage of the monetary award proposed by President Lex Luthor. Next, he appears in the 2017 computer-animated comedy film known as The Lego Batman Movie. He serves as one of the criminals who are involved in the Joker's invasion of Gotham City. He also appears as a side character in the 2018 film known as Scooby-Doo and Batman, the Brave and the Bold, and the 2021 adult animated film known as Injustice. The Secret Six comic series treated his character with the respect that he deserved. Gail Simon, an American comic book writer, brought back the character of Catman in her work on the Secret Six comic book series. The story of Catman begins in Villains United, which is a 2005 DC Comics miniseries event in which practically all of the supervillains in the world unite to develop a single conspiracy. Now, Catman was shown to have returned to Africa after his failed suicide attempt in order to reinvent himself as the man he used to be. There he started to live with a family of lions, and things gradually became better for him. He restored his feeling of self-worth and confidence, lost a lot of weight, and even improved his combat abilities with regular practice, becoming an even better fighter than he was before. However, things took a turn as he was soon visited by the members of the Secret Society of Supervillains, which was created by the sole survivor of Earth 3, Alexander Luthor Jr., who was disguising himself as Lex Luthor. The Secret Society's plan was to gather every supervillain on the face of the Earth as one large group in order to control them. So Talia al Ghul and Dr. Psycho went to recruit Catman. However, he refused to join their team. The Secret Society felt humiliated that someone like Catman, who was basically worthless, had rejected them. As a result, they butchered Catman's entire family of lions. So Catman swore to take revenge on them. Later, he was approached by the Secret Six, a team of 6 villains who deeply resent the Secret Society. It was formed by the mysterious character known as Mockingbird, who is actually the real Lex Luthor. Now, two members of the Secret Six, Deadshot, who you might recall from Suicide Squad, and Scandal Savage, who is the daughter of the immortal warrior Vandal Savage, ask Catman to join them, and he quickly agrees since he wants to fight the secret society. Now, as part of the Secret Six, Catman went on several missions that were assigned to them, which proved to be more dangerous than his team members had imagined. Eventually, the Secret Six declared war on the secret society while being led by Mockingbird. After spending considerable time as a member of the Secret Six, Catman also developed a close relationship with another member known as Cheshire, who was primarily an enemy of the Titans. Catman was wooed by Cheshire, and the two ended up having a physical relationship. Later, she revealed two tragic pieces of information to Catman. She told him that when Mockingbird was keeping her captive, she thought Blake was an excellent specimen of a man, and fooled him into sleeping with her because she wanted to conceive a child. She also informed him that his family of lions were actually killed by Deadshot on orders given by Mockingbird in order to manipulate Catman into joining his team. Initially, Catman presumed that the one who performed the massacre was Deathstroke, the Terminator, who was an enemy of the Justice League and the Teen Titans, and a member of the Secret Society. After discovering the truth, Catman gets outraged at Deadshot. So he engaged in a battle with Deadshot and was hell-bent on killing him. But the Secret Society soon attacked the Secret Six, and Catman left Deadshot to fight the enemy. During this encounter, he also realized that Cheshire had betrayed the Secret Six and joined the Secret Society. After the battle was over, Deadshot apologized to Catman, and the two team members became somewhat friends because Catman wanted to have some peace. Even though their so-called friendship was a bit rocky in the beginning and full of trust issues, at least they could now be in the same room with each other and continue to go on missions together. It is also revealed to us that Mockingbird chose Catman to be part of the Secret Six because he had fought Batman on several occasions and knew more about the vigilante than anyone else. Now, eventually, in the Villains United Infinite Crisis Special, we see that all the members of the Secret Six have decided to become mercenaries, and as long as they get paid, they are ready to work for the good guys as well as the bad guys. The line between good and evil had blurred for Catman, as he now became neutral. What makes him such a unique character? Well, we know that Thomas Blake wears an extraordinary catsuit that gives him some special powers and an edge over his enemies. This catsuit was made out of a material that belonged to a South Sea cat cult. Upon wearing it, Catman received the 9 lives of a cat and could come back to life. The suit also gave him the power to sense danger before anything actually happened. Even before Thomas became a seasoned criminal, he was a professional hunter of jungle cats, and he was excellent at this job as he was known worldwide as the best hunter in Gotham City. Since Catman spent most of his time out in the wild as a game hunter, he became an excellent tracker because he would always need to be on the lookout for dangerous animals. Despite the lack of meta-human abilities, Catman is able to recognize and track down scents. After Catman became a burglar, he showed us his extraordinary hand-to-hand combat skills during his several encounters with the Caped Crusader and Robin. He is able to go up against some of the most powerful villains in the DC universe and certainly gives them a good fight. His intellect is also on a genius level due to the life he has led since childhood. Since Catman was inspired by Catwoman, he has also used a similar mode of transportation to her, which is the Catmobile. Much like Catwoman's car, Catman's Catmobile was also designed like a cat, with 4 wheels and even a tail at the back of the car. A unique feature of Catman's Catmobile was that it could also jump short distances. After many years, when Catman became a somewhat neutral character who was neither good nor evil, he rebuilt the Catmobile in the form of a sports car so that it was faster and more agile. He then started using it as a weapon in order to destroy the lawbreakers in Gotham City. However, after some time, the Catmobile suffered a great deal of damage, and Catman had no other option but to leave it. Catman always tried to build weapons similar to Batman's, and he managed to make one. Just like Batman uses Batarang, Catman began using Catarang. It was a sharp throwing weapon with several spikes that looked like a cat's claws and had tips made out of diamonds. He had also coloured it red in order to match his catsuit. Other than that, he mainly uses knives and special bladed weapons in battle. Catman also has a partner in crime, who is his pet tiger known as Rasputin. Many people would view Rasputin as a deadly threat, but Catman has a deep connection with this Siberian tiger. Catman is one of the most powerful villains that Batman has ever fought. He can be as ruthless as the mission requires and does not feel guilty for killing people at all. In fact, when Gail Simone created his character, she made Catman into a villain who was ready to kill just about anyone if he was being paid well. The character of Catman certainly has the potential to become a major villain in the future if he is given more spotlight. Watching his story in the DC Cinematic Universe would also be fun. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.